people are gonna buy them?
Actually, I think everyone's gonna buy them, and like I feel like sex dolls are gonna become like a household item, like a microwave.
No, I don't think that.
You don't think so?
Not even a little bit.
You're underestimating human potential,
Which is none.
which is sex robots. Did you see, like? I mean, on the same sex robot topic, I know a few of you have probably experienced this, but you get like a random ass call from a number that's similar to yours. Like,
It's not quite similar. It was a call right now from a New York area code because that's where I'm from, and it's always a different number. It's always a 646 different number, and I always pick it up because it's 646.
But that's the thing. That's what they want you to do. That's how they. That is how they get you. Because look what happens. Look what actually happens. So these companies, they know that you will not pick up a call from a random number, obviously, right? So what they do is they have a very specific program that mimics your area code and usually your first 3 digits, and then it changes the last 4 digits so that you think it's someone locally calling you, like maybe a neighbor, maybe a family member with a new phone number, and then you pick up. And when you pick that phone call up, it adds your number into this very specific registry of people that pick up that number, and it provides that number to other robots, and then more robots keep calling you, and it's very annoying. Actually, there should be some type of law against this, shouldn't there?
Definitely. I have no idea, no clue where they got my number from or who gave away my number.
Bro, I could probably Google your number.
But even it's just annoying. It's like an advertisement to another extent.
Right.
I don't know what the purpose of it is.
It is advertising coming into the real
researched
world.
That. Too lazy to research it. It's just easier to not pick up, or it's easier to just hang up as soon as you pick up.
Actually, that would even solve the problem because once you hang up, that number already knows you answer your call and it's going to keep calling. But there is a solution though. If I am not mistaken, there are certain apps where it filters like those type of numbers.
Well, that's another advertisement. You're getting advertisement by all these apps.
But it's advertisement that stops advertisement. I'm down for it.
Ha! Robots,
man. Speaking of robots, the singularity's coming, people. If you don't know what the singularity is, you are already dead. But the singularity is when robots are getting consciousness. Google has made it easier with their neural networks that they have built into. Actually, I don't have enough knowledge of this, but it's going to be YouTube's fault that this happens.
I feel like you're right. You don't have enough knowledge of this.
Nah, but it's called Google's network is called deep learning, and is pretty much they took all these CPUs and they connected them to each other and they made them like synchronized so that they can pretty much form a neural network for a computer, and that's usually, supposedly that's going to be the first step of this advanced AI that's coming soon. So look for it. Actually, you can see advanced AI now with the speakers, the smart speakers.
I don't think that's advanced. It's just a portable Google, but Google is already portable. That's your phone. It's just a Google that you could talk to while you're in your couch.
Do you think they're conditioning us to do something? I think they probably are conditioning us to speak to robots.
Maybe you speak to your robot.
I use my
robot for time and for weather. That's it. Or to play me a certain song. I don't have full conversations with it, and maybe you should.
My Google Home is probably my psychologist. I tell all my secrets to it, even when it's not listening.
Now Google knows that you're trying to buy robots.
Actually, speaking of, and I know you noticed this too. But for example, you ever been having a conversation, right? And you mention a certain product, right? And then you, for example, go to a page, you go to Facebook or you go to Instagram, and you see advertisement for that one thing you were talking about, even though you didn't search it.
People are saying that's a coincidence. There's not enough.
I don't think it's a coincidence.
There's just not enough information to back that up. It has happened to me where I was like, for example, I just reread. Do you notice that you have to clear your voice and you say the word like a lot while you're in a microphone?
Yeah, that's why I always cut those things off.
That's perfect. So we were talking about something I was reading, right?
Yeah.
And I started to reread the Harry Potter series.
Oh yeah?
And this is out of nowhere that I did it. like I just started to reread it. Didn't mention it to no one. Just did it on my own, and I did it through another device outside of my phone that is not connected to my phone, but it is connected through Wi-Fi through the same thing. And now I see that I have more advertisement for Harry Potter, and it could be a coincidence, or it could be that through Wi-Fi, now that like Amazon knows that I'm doing this, it also I guess messes with Facebook or like Instagram or something, and advertises Harry Potter stuff.
You mean like the cookies? Like maybe it's saving some type of cookies and then somebody else is reading it?
Yeah, it might be.
I mean, that does happen.
But it happens so often. Or maybe I would say something like something Deadpool, and then like a couple hours later I see advertising for Deadpool.
That's what I'm saying.
Could be a coincidence. It might just be a coincidence. It might just be that.
Here's why I don't think it's a coincidence.
It knew that you were into this a long time ago, and it just so happens that when you talk about it, you notice it. Let's say I look at my phone right now and I see a Black Panther, right? I haven't been talking about Black Panther lately, but so it doesn't connect with me today. So tomorrow I might be talking about Black Panther. I look at my phone, oh, Black Panther advertisement, fishy. But in all reality, it's just you happen to notice it at the right time.
Here's why I think. Here's my example and why I think they're actually listening. I actually conducted a slight experiment where I just went around the house with Google in the living room and with my phone always around me, and I just kept saying this random word. I just kept saying SpongeBob, 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 for no reason. In just for transparency purposes, my daughter does watch SpongeBob on cable TV, and she also does watch it like on demand. So again, maybe because of some cookies, there could be some type of trace that I'm into SpongeBob. But I specifically went around the house and spoke to my phone and just kept saying the word SpongeBob. And next thing you know, I'm getting advertisement for it. Again, maybe it's a coincidence, but that'd be too much of a coincidence. And like God, I don't believe in coincidences.
Well, guys, you know what to do. You go home and you try this out for yourself.
Yeah, go ahead. Do a little experiment.
Let's talk about Popeye a lot, right? Let's just say Popeye, or put Popeye in text messages for no reason, and see if he comes back with a movie or something in the next few years.
You should definitely try it. Did you hear about Facebook for Kids?
No, and I'm not for it already.
Why not?
Because it sounds dumb.
It sounds dumb. I mean, what could go wrong with a bunch of toddlers in a social network?
We are a bunch of
we pretty much
toddlers in social network, and we already do. But I don't know why
I get the feeling like we're being conditioned for something. I think that the reason why technology is developing the way it is now is because they are trying to condition us to be more open with AI. AI is going to be a great tool, in my opinion, and they're making it easier for us to not feel weird talking to an object on your living room. And I think they're already done it. I mean, look at Alexa, look at Google Home, and the hundreds of other smart speakers coming out.
I feel like you are the master of your future, and if you allow AI to come into your house and make your life quote unquote easier, then that is all on you. So you do whatever you want with your future. If you feel like you need AI in it, then have it. If not, then don't.
You know what's going to be a game changer for AI though? The thing that's going to make AI the must-have thing in your household?
Nothing.
When they put AI into those sex dolls and Google Home is talking to you.
Why you keep talking about sex dolls?
That's going to be the topic of 2018. 2018 started with a bang, and that's with sex dolls.
All right.
Moving right along. What game are you playing right now, Ben?
I am playing very old games, so nothing much.
You want to enlighten us real quick?
I am playing Dark Arisen, which is I don't know, 2012 game. This is me ballparking. I'm playing it for the PC. I'm playing a lot of indies for the PC as well. Yeah.
Actually, you play Fortnite? I know it's not an indie.
I played Fortnite. I'm not with it. I don't like the concept of it.
Nah, that whole Royal Rumble concept, that's gonna be the next thing.
Nah, I don't like it. It's not for me.
Well, too bad, man. It's the wave.
Not for me. It doesn't matter. I don't have to buy it.
You really don't. You really do talk with your pocket. If you do not support something, don't buy it. That's
exactly. And I don't. I think it's one of those things that is hot for now. Like there's a lot of little fake versions of it. There's PlayerUnknown Battleground, which originated the idea or took it from something else and then made it popular. But yeah, I think it's just for now.
You think it's just
it's a fad,
a phase, a gaming phase?
It's a gaming phase, but I'm more of a RPG person, and I think that's what I'm gonna stick to.
Actually, I do want to ask you something. I do want to get your opinion on this. Speaking of gaming phases, the loot boxes. So for those people out there that are not gamers, certain games have these things called loot boxes, where it's items that you're rewarded with. Either for leveling up or achieving something, you will get a little reward from the game. Here's the thing though, that loot boxes, you get them for achieving something, or you could buy them, and you could buy a lot of them. And recently, they have been seen as a form of gambling. They see loot boxes as a way to I don't even know, as a way to just it's like it's a play to win concept, because you can either A, achieve something very difficult and get a loot box, or B, drop $20 on 30 loot boxes, get those great items, and level up your player and pretty much win a game without having much skill. How do you feel about these loot boxes?
It's a gamble. Of course, it's a gamble. You put money into something that is not, well, first of all, it's not tangible. It's not something you can use or touch. So it's but at the same time, it's randomized, quote unquote, to an extent, and you're paying real life money for something that you can't touch and that you don't know what you're gonna get. But I feel like if you're gonna spend money, you're gonna do it however you want to do it, right? Some people might be addicted to like buying loot crates and randomized things because they have an actual gambling problem. But I feel like it's not something that I like. It cosmetically, it's okay, I guess. If it's something that is just gonna make a character look different, or you're buying a skin for a weapon or something, I think that's fine. But if you're buying something that's going to give you a benefit in the game, then I no longer think that's okay.
But I think the issue goes back to gaming mainly being for children. I mean, no, let me take that back. Gaming is not necessarily only for children anymore. But there are a lot of children game out there. Children are a demographic in the gaming industry, and some of these games have loot boxes, which could be seen as gambling. So technically speaking, you're conditioning these kids to not only enjoy gambling, but also to seek it out as a form of pleasure, kind of.
I feel like that's on the parent. If the parent
because the parent might not be aware of that system.
That's the parent's fault.
But it's not an obvious system. It's not so obvious. It's not like violence in a video game where the parent is responsible for it. This is a mechanic that is strategically built into a game to make money out of the player.
It's the same reason why with the violence thing. If you're gonna buy a game that has violence for a child, then you should also do your homework and know that you're buying a game that has loot boxes in it.
But here's the thing. If a game has violence, by law they're supposed to put that the game has violence in somewhere in the display of the game. Now, loot boxes are not recognized as a predatory algorithm, I guess, because it is predatory.
It should be. You should still do research on whatever you're gonna get for a kid. You're gonna get a kid a book, you should know what the book has in it. If you're gonna get a kid a game, you should know what the game has in it.
Nah, I disagree. I on this topic, I can't put the blame on the parent just because it is not something obvious. I feel like this is the industry's fault.
It is on the parent, and games definitely tell you that there are purchasable items. But let's be real.
Game. Most games, I don't want to say all games, but most games today have in-game something. You could buy something within the game to make it easier.
Yeah.
But a loot box is something where it gives you an incentive. Again, it goes back to it's kind of like a drug. You get a dopamine release every time you get a loot box. You like that feeling to get that loot box. You enjoy it and you chase it. And the only way you can chase that feeling is with money, because you need to buy more loot boxes. So if you condition a young mind in its developmental phase to chase dopamine releases from digital cosmetic items for a video game, the damage that will do on that mind, I think, is catastrophic.
Some games already had that even before loot boxes started. Let's talk about Borderlands. The first Borderlands, you had loot boxes. You have boxes with randomized items in it, and you get that kind of release every time you opened it, and it was a good weapon, a purple shade, which is always like a good thing. And you didn't have to pay for that, but you did kind of get addicted to the game. I feel like I've heard a lot.
Exactly. So this was something that was used as a method to help you progress in the game, but now is used as a tool to make the game easier.
Now it's the same thing, only with money. Now you're paying for more of a chance to get more of these randomized items, and it's now costing money. I do believe that by law you have to tell that the game, there are purchasable items in the game. It does have cosmetic items, or does have items that will make the game easier, and they do that. So I think it's on the parent. I can't really blame games, because it's like the trend of today is to have a game until
just because it's a trend doesn't mean it's a good thing.
It's not a good thing, but until gamers stop buying loot boxes, they're gonna have. But here's the thing.
Boxes. Again, it goes back to the chemistry that you get from opening these loot boxes.
Well, it's more about rich people. It's more about
the people that there's poor people. There's kids that, again, they open their parents' tablet or whatever and start buying things.
Yeah,
like
but
crazy.
They can't buy millions of thousands of dollars.
They really could.
They could, to an extent. You can't just pretend like you're gonna have your kid in the living room and they're just gonna buy thousands of dollars of items. There are literally people that are rich enough to buy thousands of dollars of this item.
I think in the industry they call them whales.
And those people, you could definitely say that they're contributing to a large percentage of reoccurring games coming out with more loot boxes, because there are people that actually do this because they can do it. And
that is true. So when it comes to these loot boxes, most of the people that buy them are these whales, where it's just like extremely rich people that just are able to drop a ridiculous amount of money. And because of this, the game industry has implemented this loot box system pretty much everywhere. But again, just because they see that it works, I don't think it's fair to implement it everywhere just to get these small amount of people to pay those huge amount of money.
You gotta also think about the gaming company. It's a lot of people working on this one project for a very long time.
Not even because I think industries now know. Again, okay, so let's think about gaming currently. Graphics are amazing.
Okay.
Engines are amazing. It's unless you're Sonic, it's hard to make a bad game. But even the shittiest game has loot boxes, because they know they're gonna make some money. I could put the least amount of effort in the game, throw up some graphics, throw up some whatever mechanics, and throw out green skins, blue skins, red skins that all cost $1, and I'll make money.
But you could say the same thing about, I guess, card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering.
Oof, I ain't touching that. That's a whole different thing.
It's the same thing. You're literally paying to win.
But at least you're paying for something physical.
Yeah, well, what's the difference?
You can't hold any of these digital currencies.
It's
once I delete that game, it's gone.
You're still paying for something that you're temporarily doing. Let's say if Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a fad. Magic the Gathering is a fad. They're both fads. The same thing with the game. You're right now playing this game, and for this moment, buying these things seems like a good idea. At the long run, is it really a good idea? Whether it be tangible or non-tangible, you're doing the same thing in both scenarios. In the real world, where you're buying real cards, or in the fake world, where you're buying the same cards but digitally. It's just like buying a digital game. You have a digital version and you have a real version. One is tangible and one is not, but they both do the same thing.
When you're buying the game, you're buying the entertainment that comes with the game.
It's the same concept.
Okay,
it's tangible
on that note,
you don't really
games because of loot boxes come incomplete. Because before, if I bought a $60 game, I will get the full game. All the features that are available are already in the game. Now what they do is they make half a game, or sometimes even a third of a game, and then they have to unlock the rest of the material that's supposed to be unlocked with your game that you bought, that is your property. They put that material behind a gate that you have to buy. So to get the full game, in reality, you have to drop. Let's use an example. Star Wars Battlefront 2. So this game was a game that it was technically a third of the game, and then the other 2/3 you had to buy. In order to have the full game with all of its feature, you would have to drop about $2,000. How do you feel about that?
I feel like you pay with your money. So if you think that this game is incomplete, you shouldn't buy it. I feel like that's what people do,
and that is what happened.
It's a trend. That
look at the backlash that EA suffered because of this strategy. I mean, nobody bought the game. The game is free right now. That's how bad it is.
They didn't. No, they made money. They made money off the game. They still do make money off of the people that buy the loot boxes.
I'm pretty sure that they made money, but compared to the amount of money they were projected to make, how many cancellations were there of the game when they found out about that type of predatory?
You pay with your money. As long as the company is making money off the loot boxes, they're gonna continue giving you half games. If people continue to buy half games, you're gonna continue to get half games. What else is there to say about it? Call of Duty, same thing. It's like for years people have been buying the same exact game, and so they kept making the same kind of game. And then when people started getting tired of said game, they just went back and redid the same kind of cookie cutter game. They just gave you the same exact thing, but older version of it, and people
slightly
were like,
browner.
Wow, this is the best thing ever.
That is true. That is true.
If you continue to pay for shitty entertainment, you're gonna continue getting shitty entertainment. That goes for gaming. That goes for movies. That goes for everything.
That's true, people. Keep that in mind. You speak with your pockets, okay? If you don't pay for something, it's gone forever. It's that simple. And keep it in mind, hey, if you support something, it'll stick around. So that's why you should go watch Black Panther.
That's exactly where I wanted to go with that.
They're not
sponsoring
go watch
me, Black Panther.
But go watch Black Panther.
They're definitely not paying me.
I can already tell it's going to be a great movie.
Unless it's called Dominican Panther, which is not. But you should go watch.
Actually,
Black
we should
Panther
get on that. Dominican Panther.
Dominican Panther.
The Dominican Republic doesn't even have Panthers.
Not at all.
We can make it happen. Any last thoughts?
Racism is bad.
Racism is very bad. I would also like to invite you to join us at the Alternative Idiots Instagram, which is at Alternative Idiots. Also on our YouTube channel, which you're probably hearing us here. You probably already found the YouTube channel because you're here. How else would you be doing this if you didn't find the YouTube channel? But with that said, last closing words: loot boxes are an industry disruptor, and the gaming industry needs to get rid of them and needs to show their customers that they're more than just money floating around waiting to be harvested. Ben, any last thoughts?
Racism is bad.
Oh yeah, that was the last thoughts. Thank you for joining us at the Alternative Idiots. This has been Fran signing out.
And Ban, I just call myself Ban. Yep.
Thanks for tuning in.